just loves squishy targets, and that was, I would say, that was what brought demise for the side of Azubu Tabi Assassins. So coming back to this game, for the last game of tonight for the side of Bangkok Titans against the Saigon Fantastic Five. Moving the bans very quickly, we see two AoE, actually very AoE strong targets, champions are being banned for the side of BKT. Malphite, Jace, and Zac. So wave clear as well as ability to crowd control, stun, lock down everyone when we reach level 6 is right there. But for the side of SF5, they're going to take off Kha'Zix, Twisted Fate, and Trash. So not so sure about the Trash. Maybe it's just something they don't want to fight against.
Maybe
but
they didn't want BKT the first pick.
yeah, that could be it.
Yep.
But Twisted Fate and Kha'Zix is just understandable because Twisted Fate, even though he got nerfed, he's still a very strong champion overall. And for the game of the Saigon Jokers, they did play a great Twisted Fate, I would have to say. Just that it became iffy overall. For you guys who didn't watch it, you should just watch it.
For those of you who are asking what patch is GPL currently being played on, it is 3.7, 3.8 is should be scheduled to come somewhere next week.
Yes.
So that will be it. How does Malaysian LoL team compare to Brazil and Turkey? Well, I'll give my answer a little bit later in the chat. We just focus on the game at the moment as we're going through the champion bans and picks.
So here we will see BKT going to pick up Elise, and on the side of SF5 will be Cartus and Jarvan. So they once again SF5 heavily favouring the Jarvan jungle. And we might see the top lane might be Renekton being picked up because they really love their wombo combo up top and the jungle they have between Egg and Navy, where we always see the Jarvan Renekton pick up. So it might be, might not be, but we just have to see. For the side of BKT, do not want to reveal the ADC and the support combination so important yet, but they're going to pick up Nasus as well as Lulu. And actually these two champions is going to be the main champions that BKT really want. And once everything's been locked in and begun, you can reveal a bit more, and then give you a slight teaser before moving.
And everybody can, since it's recorded live on air now, everybody can know if Tentative is telling the truth or not.
Or not. So yeah, I will not reveal that much, of course, because it's between me and the manager / coach of the Bangkok Titans of what strategy they were using. I just had a quick chat with some of the team managers and the players just to know their current condition. So I can reveal slightly a bit of what they are doing, but I cannot reveal too much. This cannot be like only one game strategy revealed and everyone's going to count it or pick it up or just ban away the things.
Of course, that would be bad if that was true.
And then he'll come and hunt me down from Thailand, I believe. So here you will see the 4 little bans and picks.
I like it.
Going to be your favorite Fiddlestick supports. I would say it's not your favorite champion, but it's that you like to see.
I like to see it. That's amazing. In fact, I have two of my more favorite champions that I like to watch, Kale and Fiddlesticks. But I would prefer Kale to be a support. I pretty much played like, 100 games of Kale support in Season 3 over the last few weeks. Last few months, sorry.
Yes.
And it's really, really good. And Fiddlesticks is just insane. Well, we did see Vulcan, if I'm not mistaken, from the LTS Super Week. I'm singing Summer Series in my head for some reason. From the Super Week, we did see Vulcan play an amazing Fiddlesticks, not going for the glass cannon typical Zhonya's build, and did not even go for Spirit of the Spectral Wraith. In fact, the Fiddlesticks built Spirit of the Ancient Golem went for a tanky Fiddlesticks instead. People thought they could burst him down, but guess what? He did not need Zhonya's to stay alive for the full duration of the Crow Storm and just, melted everyone aside.
Yes. And one thing to note though, we see Ryze being picked up, and Ryze support. No, okay, never mind. The soft rounds happening right now.
No, it's not going to be a Ryze support, that's very sure.
That happens to be interesting. So let's just say though, in terms of these two lineups, what do you think is the major difference that they have, especially in the early game? This is the most important factor of what BKT has chosen as their strategy. What do you see is the major difference? What do you think it is?
The major difference, one seems like protect composition. We have Lulu, we have, Kale that can definitely go in and protect single targets, and we have this huge, massive AoE team. We have Cartus, Fiddlesticks, Jarvan, and Ryze. That's insane. What's coming up from the side of Saigon Fantastic 5.
Yes. Okay, but then in terms of the matchup, let's say in terms of the bottom lane.
It is a bottom lane. So we are looking at Varus, Lulu versus Ezreal, and, Fiddlesticks there. So Ezreal Fiddlesticks is going to win.
Just because you like Fiddlesticks, really?
No, I'm okay. Two considerations here. Okay? One is that if the fear goes off onto Lulu, Lulu is so dead.
Okay. So for this match, since he is so certain, I'm actually not going to be anything yet. But I'm going to tell you that
You know you're the biggest troll ever on GPL, right?
Yes.
This is what's happening.
This
He's
is
going to
not
tell
gonna-
you, I have a secret. I've been talking to people,
Yes.
and like, no, I'm not going to tell you because Pseudo likes fiddlesticks.
Because
Like,
Suzu likes
what?
fiddlesticks, I'm going to keep it for later. But it's not going to happen as you mentioned. It's really not going to
Okay.
happen as you mentioned.
Don't
But
tell me it's going to be a Varus support Lulu AD.
no. Of course not. There will be
Okay.
more troll than usual. But it's just going to be interesting in terms of what is going to happen. And those things you mentioned will not happen at all.
Okay.
Yes.
We will find out. Let's go to a very commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at the runes and masteries. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Alright, let's go.
Go where? I can't see.
Okay, so one thing though, the people in the chat has spotted out is that importantly, because I mentioned two chambers very important.
Yes.
It will be Nessus and Lulu. So there's one thing there, the chat has said that Nessus has the AoE.
Yep.
So there's one point, there's a very big factor they received later
I
playthrough
wanna
in the
see
game.
a super big Nessus.
No, so moving on, we're actually going to take a look at Navy's ruins and masteries because, I mean, Rise Top has actually been very, famous right now because of Shy for the Korean scene. With even in normal queue or solo queue, rather even in rank.
Rise
Yes.
up here, in the top lane. He's pretty strong duelist, that's for sure, and the additional spell vamp, which he has additional runes here of 6%.
Yes, so he has picked up the Spellman bonus for extra sustain because this is how he's going to trade hits, as well as the hybrid penetration marks, as you mentioned, is just a favorite pick for all those AP champions right now. In addition with the flat armor and the flat magic resist for the extra tankiness. And Rise being Rise, you don't really need that AP or penetration because you can get them items later on. He's going to go for a more tanky build and sustain. We see 18 points in defense tree and 12 points in utility tree. So pick up the health. Rise in the beginning of the game at level 1, he has about only like 450 health, I believe, or 492. And his armor is not really that high, easy chunked down by people with the durability, veteran scars, as well as hardiness. With the until the block, it will definitely help out a bit. And here also we have the Biscuiteer being picked up together with the Vampirism, additional Spell Vamp as well as Lifesteal. It's going to help his kit so much more. He's going to start off with a 9% Spell Vamp,
Yep.
which
That's
is
a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot, especially with Rise. And when he hits level 6, it's going to be insane.
Yes.
He's going to be able to survive and sustain quite significantly, in fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting because one of the top
definitely
matchup is okay. Aside from what I was mentioning so
Yep.
far, but just talking about top lane matchup, it's going to be Elise fighting against Rise, and Elise is known as a lane bully, and Rise needs to stack up a few levels before he actually becomes his so-called lane bully as well.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
he needs at least level 6. So,
I mean, to be a bully, he just needs level 4 to spam spells quickly enough. But as you mentioned, to be a bully overall, to chase people,
especially to
Oh, lane
trade,
usage.
the trade is going to be quite important here. But what's also the other factor is that for the side of Saigon Fantastic 5, there are 3 AP champions here. And we also have Astral that deals magic damage, so that's quite a bit. As long as BKT builds, double bulwarks.
So let me reveal something else.
Okay, let's go. Let's hear it.
Since he mentions this, so actually, Bulwark Aegis was stacked for the entire team.
Yes.
Yes. So, but you mentioned why would you go for double Bulwarks then?
I mean, okay, for the 2 people that's getting it,
Yes.
you would ultimately want to transition to a bulwark, but if you have 1 bulwark and 1 Aegis, then the whole team gets it.
Yes, the entire buff for the entire team
Exactly.
is much better.
Yep.
Yes, the double Bulwark is just for the holder. So maybe you're playing a tanky team con is going to dive in. Okay, it's fine because you're not going to give the buff to those VI, so there's no point in getting the Aegis, so to
Yes.
speak. But
So
sure,
here we are going to go into game. So for those of you all who are watching this, you have learned something new that, well,
Will help.
most people don't know about it actually, is that Bulwark and Aegis do not stack. They're not unique where they cancel out each other. They are
You just say-
individual, which means that everybody can get them. They do not stack.
I mean, the name is actually the same though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
it's
you say it stacks. You say it does not stack. So, but you say the aura effect should stack because it adds on to each other, even though it's different.
I'll explain it out later. But there is some
Okay.
action going on at the moment.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
I'm not getting you correctly. I need to understand your English better, so to speak.
Okay,
That's true.
so yeah, since
Maybe
there's
move-
nothing much going on and just the invades going on here, I'll explain it to you. If two things stack, you only get one effect. If it does not stack, you can get two effects.
No, so okay, so you say that okay, when we talk about double Phantom Dancer, you would say the item stacks, right? You would say it does
Yes,
not
yes,
stack.
it's stacked. That's why you only get one.
Okay, because you're saying that it's the same item itself.
Yes. So because it's the same
Okay,
name, it does not stack, which is why you get the upgrade of it somehow creates a new tier out there. So there
Okay.
we have it. We are going to see going into game here, the blue side, the Bangkok Titans, and the purple or red side will be the Saigon Fantastic 5. Nothing too crazy at the moment going on.
Just what's going on over on the map. So this is just a safe start. As usual, in the early stages, how all the teams has been playing, they just really want to know where the jungle is moving. Especially in the early stages. Because this will help your mid lane or top lane, whoever does not have the ward, to avoid a gank. And at the same time, junglers will be like, yeah, I'm not gonna gank, it's a waste of my time. Just farm till level 4, which is actually what we see more often nowadays. Instead of coming and gank at level 3, we see most junglers try to farm up to level 4, only they appear into the lane with one of the main damage skills at level 2, which kills the opponents much faster.
It does kill opponents a little bit faster than what's happening here. Karthus went for the Doran's ring starting kill, went for the Crystalline Flask. So that's a little bit different. Elise went for the very quick rejuvenation beat, and Rise went in for the Fairy Charm itself. So one going for more health, one going for more mana regeneration. Health regeneration, not more health.
Okay, so the trade is going out already on mid, so we will see the spike in damage coming from bottom lane because Varus did clear off the golem. He has the piercing arrows. I believe he has taken a hit of arrows as well because he doesn't have the
Shaman going in for the invade here. NDD is still taking the buff. This could be very well timed here. In fact, no, he does pick it up in the end. It wasn't able to smite it away. But
was like
he had the ward there. He could have gone in for it, but he did not. So
It's actually a well-timed combo.
Yep.
As soon as the Spitfire came out, the Smite and Siphoning Strike came together. So I would definitely not smite that if that was me.
yeah,
I would not be able to react to that.
I mean, he could have smited it, but it either could have been way too late, or that's why he did not actually use smite finally in the
Here
end.
is something that this is, as I mentioned, why your so-called chunking down Lulu will not happen, because this is what I was mentioning, how TPA is like playing a similar strategy in terms of how they want to force KLH to move around. They want to push the down towers early, and BKT is actually utilizing the strategy, but they pick up champions with very great wave clear overall. So with the Spitfire, it reduces the armor of the champions and the minions. With Varus, with a piercing arrow and a hit of arrows, it's like chop chop gone, especially
It is
with
chop,
the addition
chop.
of the glitter lance. So we will see Jarvan camping up there. He is spotted by the ward, but he is unable to do anything. He will not want to come out as well.
Yeah, sorry guys for the slight visual lags that's going on. It is actually coming out from our end here. It should stabilize shortly, but there's nothing much that we can do about it. So do, bear with us just for a little bit, and it should stabilize, soon.
Yes.
Coming back to the bottom lane, as what Seditibus was talking about earlier, the Spirit Fire, I mean, for the fact that Nasus is here, it is huge amounts of pressure that's being placed here, but also the experience is being shared as well.
But see, they're forcing Jarvan to go down to help protect the bottom lane as well. At the same time, we see in the mid lane, they know there's no jungler there. The mid lane, top lane are free to do whatever they please. And look, and the wave clear though coming up from the side of BKT is just so strong. There's nothing much.
Who cares about junglers? Because
Yes.
instead of 1-1-2 lanes and a jungler, we just have 1-1-3. 3 people in a lane, the new meta. Let's go.
Yes. So once again, look at that. As the Spitfire comes out, a piercing arrow just clears off all the minions.
But the thing is here, because Jarvan is around, Jarvan as well is giving the additional attack speed boost, which is helping them, trade off in the lane, because the lane is moving nowhere at the moment.
Yes, so we will see Nasus is gonna Nasus is gonna return the bottom lane very soon. He's
Of
just gonna
course.
take
The double
golems
golems,
and
yep.
then move back into the lane very quickly. See, yes. Oh, he's actually gonna go back to recoil and buy some items.
Oh,
first.
the fear does come out here. The knockup barely missing. does force the flash away. Nice job.
Yes, great job by both sides. So here we will see up top moving to check how this trade is going off. Remember, is actually being bullied out by Rice. He's forced to go back to base one time already, and look at that. Navy is just tossing out the overloads onto him, giving a ton of damage being dished out. At the same time, though, Jarvan, because he knows the flash has been used, is coming down bot lane slightly longer, but nope, he just opts to fall back after that because BKT has been playing quite safe already after wasting out the flash, which is quite.
And there we have it. We already have the quick Tear of the Goddess at 5 minutes on Carter's, which means that that's going to help him tick away, which is a good thing. We also have Rise going back and getting it as well, so that's nice. The ability now for Fiddlesticks, we are seeing that Fiddlesticks is being a little bit more dominating here, but we do have Nasus coming here, does get spotted out away, but Spiritfire is there once again to assist him out. And just like this, in fact, Varus is not maxing his hail of arrows, but actually maxing out his piercing shot. We are going to see the knockup onto two members there. The fear does go down onto Zac. Immediately the Requiem coming out as well. Zac will be able to survive this, but NED might go down to this in the end. No, in fact, everybody will disengage from that.
Oh, I would say a perfect glitter lens coming up from Lulu.
That was
just
very well done.
Yes.
On both sides, doing a really good job. And I mean, it's amazing. People are saying tick tick tick, Zillion. Nope. In fact, it's just the Tear of the Goddess. And yet again, we do see that Carter's and Kill both going back and forth. The ultimate does get used by Royhan and finally just backs away from that. I think that was a bad decision. Why would you want to go in, although you're safe from the defiled zone, just to use your ultimate? That did not make sense at all to me.
Royhan's ultimate is fast, so he's like, whatever. He's gonna come in anyway. He usually uses his summoner spells as on me. Why not just trade hits with him and force him to fall back if possible? So we will see the Violet is there in the mid. He's just walking past through. He's facing Kai. I'm here to take the red buff.
I'm here just to get the couple of crits that died. And just like that, we have Varus, a triple longsword single Doran starting. Very odd for a Varus. And we have Ezreal as well, who went for the double longsword pickup. So he's going to get Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Spirit of the Elden Lizard. What am I saying?
So for the side of Zac, I believe it's for the extra damage boost early, taking the tower as fast as possible. As I mentioned, BKT strategy is basically they want to chunk down the towers as soon as possible if they can, and then swap the lanes and just chunk down every single tower as quickly as they can. They want to make sure they achieve those objectives before the opponents can react. So far, with the 3 long swords, it will transition into a few items. It can be a Blade of the Rune King, and then into a Bloodthirster later on.
Well, for those of you who are saying that, Nasus needs to stop taxing the bottom lane, in terms of CS, they are equal. In terms of levels, they are equal as well.
So it's actually fair in terms of that.
It's actually fair, just that Lulu's a little bit behind because she tends to back away and not actually get the complete, XP range of it.
So it has stopped both AD carries and support to reach level 6 a bit slower. So
just by a little bit, but the thing is they are still hitting level 6 at the same time, which makes perfect sense for things to happen. One, these solo lanes are becoming much stronger and will be able to overpower the AD carries. And secondly, it also leaves lots of opportunities here for the junglers to, constantly be completely aware of where the other person is.
Yes, so we can see that there's no ganks or no big fights happening anywhere, mainly because the jungle have been bottom the entire time. So there's no major action happening.
Going up to the top here, Ronan, why are you going in? This is completely insane. Flash goes in for the first blood. Very nicely done there. Rise was chunking him down solo. The rappel was not the right decision to be made.
I have no idea what was that.
That was very odd, in fact, to go for it. So, wow. It's okay. We are going to continue to see now Jarvan capping in the bottom when Nasus is taking a little bit of an easier route. But
Nasus wanted to actually walk into the area. They see the pink wall is bought by Nasus, very clearly planted, because right now they want to charge and destroy the bottom lane. And Nasus, once he reaches level 6, he can solo the dragon as well, be the tank, absorb the damage, and just chunk it down so easily.
In fact, looks like that's what they'll be doing. The pings are going down already. with Kale is able to heal as well as dish out some additional damage. As long as Nessa stays behind, it should be fine. Looks like they are going to go to Violet. What in the world was that pull? Royhan is going to escape. Ultimate does get used in the end, and now the Defile distance. Violet is out of mana. Fiddlesticks completely missing his Crow Storm, or should I say Party Storm this time around. This just leaves the opportunity for them to take Dragon. However, will they be able to secure this, or will Lulu and Nasus make their appearance and take it all away from them? Egg now gonna be taken off by Zack,
And that is
what in the world? Now in a huge amount of trouble. Kale's gonna go down to this. Look at the ultimate actually being thrown out. The heal does come out. Will Royhan survive this? Royhan does go down, but that doesn't matter. QQ now under fire by Varus and Lulu. Look at him, Lulu zoning him away completely, and that should be it for him.
And look at
There
that,
we go.
with the piercing arrow picking up the kill once again. And this is what I was talking about, where how they want to secure the objectives. And because of how tanky the champions are, as well as the protective capabilities they have, in those fights, it's just so easy for them to turn around. Especially so how Jarvan, he is quite a tanky jungler, I would have to say, but he couldn't tank
Jarvan's
Dragon that well.
combo was so messed up
It was
because
so slow
it-
because of Wither. No, I'm just joking.
it wasn't because of Wither, it was
right in front of him for some reason.
yeah. He threw down his Demacian standard and then he dashed a little bit forward to do so.
He wanted to look fancy. And here we will see though the bottom tower being picked up. Yes, I know, I saw it a few times. I was remembering that. I'm not sure what was happening there, but
Oh,
he would have gotten a knock up as well, because based on how he threw his Demacian standard,
Yep.
it would be the wrong area. So very quickly, bottom tower being taken down, we see the recalls happening, and they're very quickly, I believe the lane swap will happen, as I mentioned. So we will see them move to the next objective. Dragon being taken down, bottom tower being taken down. The AD carry and support has no reason to come back down unless it's in the next 6 minutes after this. I mean, about 5 minutes by now, after when Dragon is going to respawn.
so they're just gonna happy to move around, help out a little bit of other lanes. They either could go up to the top or go to the mid lane to help push it just a little bit more before returning back to the Dragon Pit and helping to secure that. For those of you who are asking how did Kale survive, it simply was because Kale just backed away. Karthus had no more mana, and guess what?
Yes.
Nobody was attacking.
her. Karthus ran out of mana. Oh, here we see a
There we
pause.
go. A quick pause coming out there. But it's okay. For those of you who are still wondering what in the world is going on, it's right. So let's just look at Kale. So on top of Kale returning to the fight, we had Lulu to immediately shield, as well as the exhaust did go off. So because of the exhaust, that was what kept Kale alive until the very, very last auto attack by Karthus.
Yes, it was quite funny to watch. But here we will see actually BKT, some of BKT, there's a slight lag with the connection, so they're just gonna reconnect very quickly after this, just making sure that the game is fair and everything's gonna move smoothly. So the stream so far, I know we are having a few drop frames around there and there, as well as
I mean, we do apologize
Yes.
for it. However, it is a little bit beyond our hands because this is the internet connection. It's nothing to do with the hardware or
it's
anything of the sort.
it's more of our connection towards the servers uploading the stream. So
For those of you who don't know how it actually works, it is from where our location to the server. The server may be in Singapore, maybe somewhere in Southeast Asia, or it may be here in Kuala Lumpur, and then it moves back out to you guys. So there is a two-way part here. So it's our connection to the server that's not really working so well. So yeah.
yes, so we apologize for that. So, maybe y'all could just file a complaint to Unify for us, and then we will be able to get better internet somewhere.
Just
somehow.
maybe.
Yes, maybe better international connection as well, and then everyone will be able to enjoy the stream. We do apologize for the problems that are occurring for today. Well, normally it's not so bad, but lately, I'm not
Lately,
sure.
it hasn't been performing very up to balance.
Yes. So right now we're just waiting for all of the BKT members to be connecting to the game. So we're just gonna have a short, I suppose, Q&A with the guys on the Twitch chat or even YouTube.
Yep.
Whether you guys have any answers you like. Sorry,
Any
answers.
questions?
Wow.
If you want any answers from us, do ask us questions.
Wow. That was like, I was like, when I said it, I'm like, yeah.
You see, notice Teditibus is trying to become Superman with his curl in the front.
Oh really now? Oh,
I mean, a lot of people were saying that about the new Superman movie, that he did not have the curl nor his signature red underwear outside, and they were really disappointed.
it It's just not really red. It's not bright.
I
red.
don't think so. There's anything.
There
But we
is.
shall not talk about.
I believe
I don't know.
there
I have
is.
not watched the movie.
I mean, the trailer had it. I think. I'm not sure.
Daddy Tibbers watches movies without me. This is the partnership we have. He leaves me at home and has fun with other people outside.
Of course, I'll leave you at home. I don't have any special relationship with you. Anyway,
There we go.
moving on. I think our chat froze.
No, the
Also
chat
fine.
is still active. Just that I think the viewership has dropped quite a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, because of the stream. We do apologize for everything that's happening for the side of the freezing and things
They're
like
asking, should Aatrox be played as a top or a jungle?
that. Plays the AD carry.
Play as a bruiser mid.
I'm just joking. But it really depends on the style. Aatrox, I would say, might work as a better jungle in terms of the ganks because he is able to jump over the walls.
Yeah.
And then if he does come off from a gank, it's like a sudden appearance. He does not have the Martian Standard and Dragon Lance combo coming off like Jarvan. You'll be able to spot him up and flash. But Aatrox, if he does fly on the brush and lands down, it's like a sudden appearance. But the range is not as far, so it's a bit hard to
That is
land at the
true.
same time.
Well, let's go move back into game. We're going to have the continuation going off. And just as we return back here, it looks as if Nave is going to go down to it.
I'm not sure what happened when the game resumed. We actually had to jump forward a few seconds, and
Yeah.
suddenly Sack was fighting with Navy, and then Sack actually traded against Navy, chunked him down with the Hill of Arrows, as well as the procs from piercing arrows. So because of the Hill of Arrows, he couldn't regen that fast with the spell vamp, and then back came very hard to secure the kill. And look at that, very quickly. Once again, they're just going for this push off the tower, and the items being built up for the south. Sack is actually going to be the Elder Lizard. It's not going to be Blade or the Rune King, so he is going to go
odd,
for the.
which is very odd, in fact. People normally getting the triple longsword would go for that. And there are people in the chat that was saying that, but nope, it is going to be Spirit of the Elder Lizard
Yes.
as well as a Bloodthirster, most likely.
So the Sphere of the Elder Lizard is actually great for pushing champions because it gives you the additional 10% cooldown, mana regen, and HP regeneration. I personally, when I play Caitlyn nowadays, I have nothing
This
better
is what
to
he
do.
always does.
I always
yes.
buy Spear of the Elder Lizard and then I buy into the Static Shift with Infinity Age because it just gives out so much push potential. And look at that, NDD comes in with a Wither and a Spitfire, really forcing champions to move back because the Wither just has so much potential and it's such a scary skill overall, especially on any champion which has no escape capabilities. So here,
Escape or shield
or
capability.
shield capabilities,
That's
yes.
what-
So very quickly we would see the bottom tower being taken down when they transfer up top, secure the kill, and taking it down as well. 2 towers, 1 dragon for the side of the Bangkok Titans, and they're going to secure a 3k goal lead. And in the next 1-2 minutes or so, Dragon will respawn, and we're going to see the next engage. Will Fiddlestick miss his Crowstorm once again? I suppose that's
I mean,
the
the
question.
Crowstorm was completely off
everyone's
the
mind.
first time around, but yeah. For those who are asking, can you buy the Gladiator Draven skin? Nope. Sorry, you need
Yeah.
to come for the anniversary.
Or you can bribe him, bribe Pseudo for something. He might help you.
Talk to me after this. Yep. So going back more importantly into the game and leaving bribery aside, which is a bad thing and nobody should be doing, we are seeing that Nasus is being quite a dominating force. Although he doesn't have the massive amount of items or massive amounts of damage, the consistent damage coming out from Spirit Fire and as well as Wither is putting a halt in many people's tracks.
And whenever he goes into the lane or goes in the jungle, just a free Cycling Strike, just boosting his damage from there. Let's just take a look right now. He has the 53 CS because he was stuck in the lane, so I believe his overall damage output is not that high on Cycling Strike, but look at that, it's already at, well, just 60 damage, just because of a few CS, especially in the large minions. It gives you double the 6 damage instead of 3. It really helps up stack it up so much easier. And look at that. Everyone is forced to move into the mid lane
I
for
love
the
how they're
side
standing
of
on a
SF5.
ward. I'm sorry I have to cut you off.
I know,
I love
I
that.
thought about that.
I was like, what? They're standing completely on the ward, completely not knowing what in the world is going on. And there's nothing much Reach can do. They are... sorry, not they
Oh,
are.
but it's gonna get chunked down. That's
Bye-bye.
that's-
Oh, no!
He flashes a
the
flash out.
Crowstorm actually working his way here. Black gonna go down, but no, Walgrim does save him in the end here. The Master Center was not actually used, and they are completely backing away. What?
I believe it was on cooldown or he missed it for the side of Jarvan. That was quite a weird initiate, or they decided to fall back. But well, this is great for the side of BKT though, because look at that, with the wild growth as well as the life steal coming up, instantly Sack has healed up to almost full HP, and here we are staging onto the tower, and there's nothing SF5 can do about it because they've used up all the ultimates, and Carter's been forced back. Even Ezreal has been forced to go mid to help with the clear, and run is just getting free CS, free farm, finally catching up with Rise overall in the CS difference.
Yeah, for those of you who are asking, why do we have an Elijah's Miracle on Lulu? Well, that's simply because Lulu took up heal, which means that upon 3 levels, Elijah's Miracle will gain the permanent 20% cooldown reduction, 20% cooldown onto heal, which means you can use it that much more quicker, as well as the mana manipulator means that her mana will continuously be up.
Yes, and there
And
goes
as well as because it's
Nasus.
Varus.
Yes, of course. And also, there goes Nasus. Yes, Solo Dragon.
Yep.
That's how it is. Nasus is such a great jungler in terms of that because his capabilities of just taking Dragon alone once he reaches level 6. And while his team was in mid, just displaying their skills, just dancing around, pushing minions, he was like, okay, now's my turn to do my job. Take the Dragon, walk back. He's bought up Oracle's Elixir as well. So this is going to become so much better for Side BKT. Taking down the top, mid, as well as bottom tower, 2 dragons. Map control is in their favor with the Oracles being picked up. It's going to force SF5 to stay on their tracks, be very safe, and they need to make sure they don't get caught out of position because overall damage coming out right now from Varus as well as Elise is a chunk of burst onto one champion. So yeah, so Sack right now moving back to the top lane, look at that. The piercing. Be careful, don't the brush trying to catch him off, but nope, he saw that Sack decided to fall back, so he's just going to move away from this. And here SF5 going to try to push back everything into their favor, but look, I will just say the Spitfire is just going to clear off everything so quickly with the
Look at that, everybody, the minions is melting away, TQ actually taking a little bit of damage. Not the best melt in the world, but it does keep the tower alive, which is what was needed.
Just with 2 champions, Lulu wasn't even there because of being chased away by the layways as well as the wall of pain of Carters. But Nasus just, okay, Spitfire.
I'll do your job, it's okay.
And very quickly we see now everyone has moved back after buying items for base. And here's Sai is going to be caught out of position. He walks into Ron from the water lane. The repel will land, but the ignite will be enough to pick Sai up. And here we will see just the map control. Look at the charging right into the meter goes down, and here we will see the reckoning go off, but going to fall back from this. SF5 not going to, BKT is not going to go all in just yet.
Yeah, I mean, look, just like that, one piercing arrow clearing off the entire wave, and they are going to be a little bit happy with this at the time. It seems to be going really well for them, although it isn't a huge margin, but they are in a very commanding position. Quite a bit do I actually like to talk about the morale advantage that you have, because when you start having a few deaths and you start seeing the amount of damage that they can actually do, it just makes you super cautious. It makes you, think twice, think 3 times, think 4 times, should we engage, should we play safe, and that's what helps win quite a bit of games.
Yes. And look at the amount of damage on Sack. He's picked up another 2 more long swords actually after the Bloodthirster. So Tuku's going to get caught by Rumble. Look at that, the piercing arrows doing so much damage.
A lot of damage.
Was not enough to bring him down. So this is why they gave the move up to Sack, so he can force off anyone with the piercing arrows and clear the wave.
So really fast as well.
Yes.
And just like that, 5 members going to go all the way down. The tower most likely will go down in the first second, but no, instant cocoon. Crossform actually hitting on everybody else here. Sai still alive, dealing so much damage, but no, it will not be enough. 5 members of BKT still alive. They are going to go into this. Valen now under threat. Steals actually being able to save. Piercing arrow ending his life in the end, but this will be Requiem coming down. Requiem does end up with 2 kills. Royhan actually going to go down. No, he does flash away from this. And Sack needs to be a little bit careful. He can possibly trade onto this. The cocoon does manage to land, but no, it looks as if this will not be enough. Navy ends up with yet another kill on top of it. Piercing arrow comes up, but that will not be enough for him. And will he continue to charge over? Nope, he's going to spell vamp his way through. Piercing arrow not going to hit yet again. Sack trying to make the best out of that situation, but it just was not enough.
Yes, and the chunk of damage coming from the Crow Storm was negated from the heal coming from skills actually in that team fight. So that was beautifully played by both teams, I would have to say. But it did not end up so well because for the side of the Chain of Corruptions, it only hit on to Fatal Snakes. And then when they kill off Carters, I'm like, okay, there comes the Requiem. I mean, you really want to chunk him down, but he was really out of mana. Sometimes I was thinking, would they actually leave the Carters alive first? Yeah.
Because he needs to die so that he can use his Requiem, and if he did not use his Requiem, the 2 members would have been stayed alive, and they could have possibly turned that around to an ace of their very own.
Yes, and there was nothing Carters could do about it. He would be like, auto attack. Yes, come on, give me some
Maybe
mana.
one lane waste.
Yes, also. But here we will see though the kite potential coming out from BKT is getting stronger because the first item, the major item picked up by Ron is actually going to be Raya's Crystal Scepter.
So we do have tankiness, we have damage, we obviously have the Haunting Skies, which is doing extra magic penetration. I like that Kale has the Haunting Skies as well as the National Tooth has been completed, which is doing really well for Kale. Now Egg and Eddie gonna go back and for Eddie a little bit out of position, but it would be silly to chase him away. In fact, he does activate.
Oh, he aggroes the Baron. Wow, look at that. Egg taking a chunk of damage, being forced to fall back to heal because of that. And NDD is like, yeah, come and hit me, please.
Like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, and here we will see the Brutalizer being picked up from Zack, and then he's picking up the pickaxe as well. So I believe it's going to be Last Whispers. So he's going just full damage
Or
almost.
like high penetration. It's going to go for a Last Whisper, it's going to go for a Black Cleaver, which is quite an unorthodox build for Varus. One would think that you just want to maximize your proc damage.
Yes.
So, why would you
attacks.
go in for, insane penetration? Because you're not an auto attack champion. Especially since he's going for his piercing arrows, it does actually apply the first, it does apply on hit effects.
Yes, and it works out so much better for it. You can see just spamming piercing arrows all days, all night before they siege in and engage on the fight. So here we will see Dragon being spawned, but BKT actually not going to move into it just yet. They just want to force more pressure on the lanes. Or is Dinsas actually engaging onto Baron? Yes, he is. It's going to be a two-man Baron because they have NDD on Aces and the additional health and tankiness and his ultimate just helping up so much. But with the Warp Plunder from Navy, they did manage to spoil it out. He would be forced to fall back.
Cocoon does not land, and then we have the Wall of Fate actually going on to Roran, taking a few of the laneways hits. But just at the same time, we are seeing SF5 actually going to take the Dragon away from them, and that should be, breathing a sigh of relief for them.
But this is a trade that actually BKT wants. They're going to chase off the NDD, but look at the tower being taken down. They're now recalling the second tier tower being taken down, and now they're moving into the inhibitor turret for the side of the bottom lane, and they will take off this turret as well. And they're going to move into the inhibitor immediately. Here we will see the chain of corruption is going to miss, and here the home guard boost coming out from Violet is just going to help him move the sack forward so much, but the intervention came out a bit too early.
Yep, but no, in fact, the Cataclysm does come out. I don't think so that was wise at all. It looks like the turnaround will happen here. We are seeing Roy Hunt still continue to dish out damage after damage. We are seeing the very, very nice Sarah's Embrace actually being used to keep him alive. But Roran will go down to this SF5 Navy, and Sai was there.
I'm not sure why he didn't plant the wall over the wall instead.
I think it was one of those reactions.
Yes.
But it looks as if now Saigon Fantastic Fire making their comeback into things. BKT not being able to, continuously lay on the pressure. They are alleviating it just by a little bit.
But it's still not enough. You can see the Ezreal's damage is so low and so little in comparison. And here we will see Violet caught out in the bad position, instantly going to be jet
between
down.
the golems and kill
and
he
failed the flash. And the piercing arrow actually just took the blue buff away for free. And now and they're just going to stay up top. They continue the pressure with the push and just...
Oh, they are going to back away from this.
Yes, everyone has to come back for the side of SF5. They need to respawn, they need to defend. And here, the surprise party with the Oracles, he needs to be very careful. Look at that.
He should not lose that Oracle. That's going to cost him 400 gold, which is a lot of money considering the fact that they are behind at the moment. 4k is quite a significant amount at the 20th minute mark.
Once again, we will see the duo on the Baron while the other three of them pressure the bottom.
But Jarvan is making his way there. And looks as if they could be thinking of doing Baron by themselves. Zack is lowering the inhibitor continuously, and just like the entity does clear off the walls in the Dragon, will back away from this because his ultimate did get expanded. Chain of Corruption is used at the bottom, and that's about it.
Yeah, so we'll see Violet getting kited all day by the Glitter Lance and the Hail of Arrows. Maybe using his ultimate, trying to charge it. But it was a great job by NDD and Marmor. They did not lose out that much help. Just the ultimate from Nasus is being burned, but did force the Scarecrow as well as the Prince to go to the Baron pit and stop the Baron attack. But overall, damage though being dealt on the inhibitor is being recovered very quickly. Actually, that's one of those things that you need to take note of. The inhibitor actually heals up quite quickly if there's nothing hitting onto it, so they need to be careful about this. Violet is trying to just catch someone off guard if they do charge all the 2Q, but he does not know that BKT is all fallen back and they have chosen to procure more items. And here with the last whispers being picked up from the side of Zack, and he's just going to chunk down almost anyone at every time. And Rice is going to, speaking of the chain vest, I would hope to see the Seeker's Armguard soon from Violet. He really needs to alleviate some of the damage coming out from Zack.
Well, that is very true. We definitely want to see the Seeker's Armguard, make the appearance, because it seems just not enough at the moment. I don't know much of what they can do, because at this point in time, so far most of the engages has just been, 2 people continuously doing Dragon, when the rest of the Bangkok Titans are actually just trying to shove down the lane. If in fact does go down to a complete 5-person fight, well, I don't think Susango 35 can hold on that much longer. Perhaps they should use the timers to go really well, but it's a very big if, to be honest.
But for the team fight for the start of Cycle Fantasy 5, we cannot call them out yet because it relies heavily upon the performance of Violet, I would have to say, on Carter's.
Yeah.
So here we will see NDD going to charge in with the Wither onto Violet, but Violet is just going to be able to fall back with the War of Pain being chunked out. And you can see that Wither though is just applying so much fear onto opponent champions and just forcing them to fall back and play very safe. They don't want to get caught out of position. There's no hard CC exactly coming out from the side of BKT, but they do have the Cocoon as well as the King of Corruptions. And here we will see Rohan going to be getting caught by Navy. He'll be chunked out very quickly. He will use force to use intervention and he will be flashed away, and NDD will be there to save him.
I mean, you talked quite a bit about Bangkok Titans and their strategy. It did work out really well in the beginning game. Well, I would say really well. It worked out for them well in the beginning game. However, we are looking at the late game champions take a more shining approach now. We have Rise and Carter's, 2 of the late game gods. I mean, if only they had Vayne, but
But I would have to say though, Zack on Varus. Varus is actually one of the late game champions which people do not realize.
Yep.
Because his chunk of damage coming out, there's a stacking with the blighted arrows, can actually easily take down the carry very quickly. In like 3 seconds or 2 seconds, he bring down to 50% health. The next second, 1.5 seconds, so he can chunk it down if his skills. He applies his skills to get blighted arrows very quickly altogether. Yep. And here we see Zack going to try to charge him, but going to be just chunked down so quickly. Side flashing for the fear to save his fellow jungle. So now when the Crow Storm comes in, he will not be able to close the gap that well, and it's not going to work out so well for them. And look at the chunk of damage coming out from the side of Ron on to QQ, already at 50% HP.
Oh, in fact, the flash comes in from Rise on the other end. Now we are seeing Crow Storm actually being used, and they are able to wipe them off. Kill does go down, but looks like Egg will go down to the last bit of Ignite. No, he does survive. It's not enough. QQ picks up the tower, and looks like Saigon Fantastic 5 is doing a better job than what was happening. However, Zack did take out one inhibitor. They are backing away from this. He doesn't have the fastest attack speed in the world,
because he does not have attack speed except for the Berserker Greaves. So he's just going to kill the minions, and yes, with the minion spawns out, look at that, very clearly clearing everything off. The Home Guard boost, they need to be careful. Will he be able to stop it? Yes, he will with the piercing arrows and a great Whimsy as well as a wild girl.
Very nice Whimsy, in fact. Looks like skills will beat them. Nope, in fact, Zack is still trying to help. Wall of Pain comes down. That's a lot of members. Nice flash onto the other end. Jenna going down. Will Violet go down to this? Looks like Violet will go down. Still picking up a kill. Lulu gonna happily run away from this, and Raccoon will not be enough to bring him down. Zack did get godlike before being shut down in the end. And still TQ and still going back ahead, but now TQ will pick it up finally in the end.
I was thinking why skills didn't flash away though. He actually sidestepped his heal. He just flashed off away from the missing shot. And
but it's okay, they are picking up the Baron
here. And it is a free prince to be taken alive.
And we are going to go NDD now. Nice kill, ultimate coming up here. Navy in a little bit of trouble, but in fact, Navy does go down. Roran finally with the final bite from the spider. Down, and that will be it for Sai as well. And just like that, well, almost an ace. A lot of deaths going back and forth on both sides of the team, but ultimately, Bangkok Titans coming up ahead in that.
So Katinka is asking, what's this? You heard about KH beating TPA? Yes, it did happen in the second game. You can check the VOD later, all the stats will be uploaded after GPL ends. But coming back to this game, and as I mentioned, the BKT's lineup is very objective driven.
Yes.
You can see that just speed push, you're gonna team fight, you're gonna take my tower, go ahead. The intervention coming up, Nissa's with his speed fire and Vader just slows them down so heavily. And at least it's just
As well as
addition.
5-wing strike, keeping him
yes.
so much, alive and healthy, even though he's brought down relatively low. For those of y'all, there was somebody who did ask, which is better, Last Whisper or a Black Cleaver? In my opinion, if you already have a 5 item, you get a Last Whisper, because in the late game, 40% penetration is... Sorry, 25% is better, 35%... Well, the last time it was 40 though. 35% is better than what is actually offered by the Black Cleaver. If you want a little bit of additional health and more of an early game item, like such as Renekton and things like that, then you go for a Black Cleaver.
So very quickly, BKT with the Baron buff on 3 members, as well as taking down the inhibitor at the bottom lane. You can see very quickly the translation to the mid and top. Not wasting the Baron buff, not wasting any time, but I still need to be very careful because the overall CC, crowd control as you mentioned, and the teamfight potential, if they fight in the choke, is still much stronger for the start of SF5. So here we will see a fight going off. Once again, Cocoon hitting onto an egg will be churned down. Close down going by, does no damage because he has no AP items, and look at that.
Chain of Corruption was so beautiful being thrown out there. Now everybody's forced to move away from this. Backup titles do not need to chase them, they just need to go get a couple of towers, get an inhibitor if possible, and be super healthy on top of it. But no, it looks like the failed flash actually came out from there, but the shutdown still managed to go down. Very nice job there in the end though. So they did manage to get a kill on top of that. But with this massive push now coming to the mid, they aren't able to do much of anything. NDD is still pretty much healthy. Skilled is happily pushing from the side. Wow.
And look at that. Now NDD with Rise away, he's going to happily hit onto the buildings because there's a lot of damage coming out from Ezreal, but it's just not enough.
I love how you call it buildings. The structures that have been taken down. Well,
I like to call it buildings. They are buildings.
they are buildings according to Tentativus. You heard it here. All the lanes are being pushed at the moment. Super Minions still shoveling through the bottom lane and taking them out. They should go back, buy a couple of items and come back into this. They do have 1,300 gold actually on Varus. He has 300 CS, the only person to reach 300 CS just yet. And we have the Barrage not doing anything at all.
Almost picking out the dragon, almost, but not enough.
Missing by a hair.
Yes, and the reason why though I would say that Sack picked up the Black Cleaver is because he's playing a caster. He's not really playing an auto attacker. I mean, the last item is going to be a Phantom Dancer, but that's like the very
Because
last
he
item.
needs the attack speed.
Yes, in the end, to chunk down those last towers as well as the team fights, he will need a bit of attack speed, and he has gotten it.
And I would say that, for people who are asking, why not take a Blade of the Ruin King? Why not, take a Zephyr or something else that gives movement speed? What happens here is that Phantom Dancer has the unique, which means that you can walk through units, which is something that Varus has been doing quite a bit. He has been, traversing backwards every single time, and it's just so nice, to be able to walk through units and go through them,
Yes.
with ease.
Especially since Phantom Dancer gives, I would say, more attack speed over static. But Zephyr, even though it gives the damage, the mobility, the tenacity, and things like that, but
He doesn't need tenacity.
yes, the main problem is that it does not provide the critical strike. So with this last item finally picked up, he will have the additional critical strike with the amount of chunks of damage he has, plus his skilling shots, as well as toolkit. He's just going to be able to kill anyone very quickly on a 1v1 scenario.
One situation. A lady boy who's asking us on Twitch chat, are we actually Riot employees? No, we are not. We work for Garena League of Legends here in the Malaysian side of the office. So no, technically we're not Riot employees.
No, we are not. But here, very interestingly, the last push is coming. The minions for the bottom lane are going to push in freely. They're going to be
They
able
will
to
take down the
this out.
inhibitor by
Yes.
themselves. They'll be happy here.
So we will see Cutters move down to try and clear it out, but look at the damage coming out
Oh,
from his
that
arrow.
lightning strike was so well. Nice Cataclysm onto that, but he does flash away from it. Crosslock did get used, however, it will not be enough. The ultimate did get thrown out. Intervention was used. Skills taking quite a bit of hope from this. But still, Carter's forced to respond to the super minions pushing up into the inhibitor at the bottom lane. And just like that, they are able to save the tower. But then again, it really is at half health, so yeah.
Yes, but with the home guard boots coming out from the side of SF5, they're going to be able to protect this siege much better, but they already used up all the ultimates. So this is the point of time where BKT wants to try and push in. Or they actually could go back and heal before they try and push in, just that they move very quickly. As soon as they get back, then they continue to push. But look at that, the minions on the side and the sides are pushing in.
Yep.
So there's no reason for them to fall back. The minions are doing their jobs for them. Yep.
Sorry for speaking on top of you, that's now, but that exactly is it. So we are seeing in the mid lane there is super minions pushing. In the bottom lane, the lane is still being pushed. They do have the siege minion that is already there helping them out. And Saigon Fantastic 5 just need to hold out as long as possible and wait for the ultimates to come up, which should be up in the next minute and a half or so. If they are able to do so, the mid inhibitor most likely will be back up. So yep.
And one thing to note, though, someone was asking about the Dan Dane video, but there was there was one Garena branch, so we're actually not sure who did it. We haven't.
So we'll talk about it after the game because we do have some information on that. More importantly now is the game at hand. We should not steal away the players' thunder because this is their time to shine. So there we are seeing now the last ditch attempt, the final gauntlet where they need to hold on to at the very end here. Zed possibly gonna go down, but TQ is kinda low on mana.
Yes, and they don't run out so far because they do not have the wards. You can see on the side has been stolen for the side SF5. They are so blind and Reinhardt is actually just here. Hey guys, yes, ignore me. And look at that. So the wall
missing the wall of day due to the additional movement speed. Nicely done that. What in the world intervention so quickly does manage to bring him down in the end though, but will it be enough for him? Oh, one last hit. Nope. It will not, if only he had his ultimate then.
Yes, but at the same time, there was a fight going on at the side. We will see Sai pick up the kill onto Ryland as well as Sai. So this is going to be
GG. There's no way they can hold on to this at the very end here. Bangkok Titans doing a really good job of playing the psychological game against Saigon Fantastic 5. They weren't able to do that, and Chain of Corruption actually landing right at the tips out there. It might be able to survive this, but no, Sek will kill him away from this. Now the repel does come in, but will he be able to bring him down in the end? We are going to see Sek almost going to bring him down. Nope. Why was the barrage in the wrong direction?
I think he was trying to fall back and at the same time use the two-shot barrage, so that's why it's the wrong direction. It's a very fair mistake, like how Caitlyn plays,
Like, oh no, I think element that. Oh wait, wrong direction. Oh well.
Enemy in front of you. Okay, let's go back in.
Well, it happened. This was a nice and very interesting game. In fact, in the third time around, so all three games, in fact, had very interesting,
Matches.
elements in it that made it, completely unique to themselves. The first time around, we saw a very interesting lineup.
CDR Malzahar.